Hello all, I'm making this video for people having trouble with the lead up to the old hero boss fight and the boss fight itself. My experience with this area is that even Dark Souls veterans can have serious trouble with this section, particularly if you're trying to do it early or without the right equipment. It's possible the developers intended for it to be completed later on, but if you're like me and you have a hard time giving up on an area and coming back later, then this video is for you. So on top of all this, the area is also a lot harder if you've accidentally gotten yourself into Black World tendency, which is what I did, and that makes it really difficult because 3 red phantoms skeletons show up near the end that can one-hit kill you, and normally you can't run past them. So in this video, I'll show you how to kill the enemies you need to kill and how to get past the ones that you don't. And at the end, a good strategy for taking down the relatively easy old hero. So one thing you should know, if you don't have an upgraded weapon that can do at least 100 damage against skeletons in this area. You could probably use anything, but I really recommend the Dragon Longsword in Stonefang Tunnel, which isn't very difficult to get if you watch a video of where to find it. So I think the fire damage might stagger the skeletons a little bit, which is helpful, and it's also easy to upgrade it to 5+ early on, so that's why I'm using it here. So aside from the melee weapon, you'll need any bow and at least 15 arrows for killing the first summoner and aggroing skeletons. You'll need the Thief's Ring, which you probably already found in 1-1. You'll also need 2 spells, the Cloak spell and the Familiar's Prank spell, and 14 intelligence, so you have enough slots to equip them both. You can get both the spells from the magic guy and the Nexus. The final thing you'll want is enough grass to heal fully like 5 or 6 times, just in case. You can farm from the first summoner in the ritual path and use the souls to buy like 30 half-moon grass from Grave Robber Blige, and that should be enough. So to start, I want to say that you should treat most enemies like they are one-hit kills, because between the manta rays and the summoners, if you don't die in one hit, then you are likely to die from something else seconds after. So evading is key, and only aggroing one enemy at a time is also key. So without further ado, let's get into the walkthrough. So you drop down, and you're going to want to pull out your bow and your arrows here. So I actually forgot to equip my arrows, which is a big mistake. So this guy is going to reach me before I actually get enough shots out. So just remember to equip the arrows before. And keep going. Usually want to check this guy for Moon Shadestone chunks. Sometimes it drops the more valuable chunks. You want to stand right here and aim for this skeleton and aggro him, and he will fall off a cliff. And drop down, shield out. Try not to block the arrow. Hits, pin you down, and take out. You want to aggro this guy so that you don't have to fight both of the skeletons down there at once. And a little bit of patience up here. You can try positioning yourself so the manta rays don't shoot you. Usually it doesn't work too well. I'm going to try to get backstab at these guys because it's faster, and it means that you don't have to avoid hits from them. I'm going to draw this guy out into the open area so that you're not at risk of falling off. It's definitely a problem in these areas. Backstab, it's okay. And dodge if he swings at you. Here you're going to pull out your bow and aggro this guy. And really the best thing to do is just give him a couple arrows and then wait for him to come to you, because if you try to approach him, he's going to shoot his lasers at you, and usually it's a one-hit kill, so just try to get him to come to you. Sometimes he'll stop shoot his lasers, but you far enough away. Hopefully he does keep moving there. If he stops, then you'll have to just kill him with arrows, but in this situation he continued, and he's able to bring down the bow and arrow. You want to run down here because another one will spawn if you don't move quickly enough, and so yeah, you just keep moving. This guy is going to shoot a laser. Watch it right there, like I did. It's pretty easy once you get the hang of it. Just dodge as soon as you're about to hit the laser. This guy will die usually before his second laser attack, so you'll be fine. I'm going to wait here for this guy. That'll pop out, knock him down with one hit. Usually works. Continue on. So you want to take out the two guys on the right. They're hidden to start. So basically you aggro them by walking that way and then walking back. You should be able to take out both of them. The backstab attack is actually it's enough to one-hit kill me, so I always like to make sure that they're dead, just in case. And then I do my armor change. I take off all my armor so that I'm not making as much noise when I try to sneak past these people, and maybe it's not necessary, but I tend to find that it works better. So you cast Cloak, and then you equip the Familiar's Prank. And you can see that I forgot to put my Catalyst on, so I won't be able to cast spells right away. I know it confused me for a second, but once I equip the Catalyst, it works. And so you're going to lock onto that guy, and just kind of past that. Get the skeletons to move around, that you can just run past them. Normally you can't. They'll block the way, and that'll give them enough time to hit you. But if you do it this way, then you can definitely just run past them. And so that's why this method works, because those guys will totally one-hit kill you. So reapply Cloak if you need to at this point, because they'll forget that you're there, so you're not at risk. And you want to dodge that guy as you go by him. And he will forget about you as well very quickly, because of the Cloak and the Thief's Ring. So that's why those are required, and it makes that stage that was giving me a lot of problems a lot easier. This guy should get on. Make sure he doesn't do this laser attack. You can use arrows there if you have more at that stage. That was really low. But you want to aggro this guy with an arrow to get him walking towards you, because he will do his laser beams twice as you're running down that pathway, and unless you're really good at dodging them, that'll take you down. So what you want to be careful about here is that there will spawn a new enemy there, and if there's two of them, that's bad news. So you want to wait until that guy comes, kill him, and you can see I almost went down here to finish his laser beam attack, but I was able to survive and keep going. And so on the left here, you're going to very quickly or else you're going to get one hit killed by his magic attack. But as long as you're quick, you'll stagger him and be able to take him out right away. So continuing on, the hard part is now over, and you'll just run through this cavern here and try to avoid the white glowing orbs that will explode if you get too close. So it takes a little bit of patience, but this part is relatively easy for experienced Souls players. Just patience, really. Keep moving. And I would recommend waiting to get the loot from this area. Like, after you kill the old hero, you can come back for it. Nothing is very important. in terms of like weapons. Like there's nothing there that's gonna make your life easier for this fight. So so that's the last hard part, and now you've got a straight shot to the boss fight. So we actually had to re-record the first part because I had already killed the boss at that point, but this is the original footage of me killing the boss, and this will just give you an idea of some of the tactics you can use. You don't really need a ton of armor because you're not going to be getting hit in this using this strategy. So kind of just go in and you're going to walk forward to aggro the boss. He doesn't start aggroing until about right there. So he's going to start attacking randomly, but with the Thief's Ring on, he cannot hear you, and that is key. So basically he's going to walk this way, and what you want him to do is just let him start attacking random things, and you want him to get about to the middle, and then once he's in the middle, you can start attacking his legs. And so yeah, now's a good time to hit him after he's done attack or during an attack. You can see that I'm just being cautious because again, this is a one-hit kill. If he hits you, he is going to kill you, whether or not you have your armor on, whether or not you have your shield up. So yeah, you just wait for the attack, and then you get 1 or 2 hits in, and rinse and repeat. And really, it's pretty simple, because you're just doing the same thing over and over again until he dies. So he does change up his moveset a little bit towards the end, but it's not really too much difference. And basically, you're waiting for the same attack for him to get that attack right there, and rinse and repeat. So the only scary thing that he'll do is run towards you for a couple seconds and then stop. And you do want to be far enough away or dodge to avoid that attack, because that can catch you off guard. But in general, it's pretty easy to see that coming. You just want to wait for those overhead attacks. There is another attack where he'll do a kind of jumping thing, and you just want to be on the lookout for those and kind of just dodge away. Keeping your distance and waiting for those overhead attacks, it's not really going to be a problem for you to see that jumping attack be far enough away. So basically, yeah, just use the same tactics that I'm using, and that's where you know. And patience is key with this guy, because if you try to get more than 2 hits in, more than likely his kind of retaliation hit is going to get you and will take you out. So just so in a situation like that, you kind of want to wait for him to either turn around or do an attack so you can go past them. You kind of want to be behind him, though. It's the best place to be when you're trying to hit him. Because if you're in front of him when you hit him, then his retaliation hit is going to hit you. Need some grass. There is a full moon grass there on the side. So it's pretty much all the same. I'm just gonna let the video play out, and yeah, hopefully this helped you guys.